Hey guys, it's Goose the Grey once more. Back again with more Challenger 5v5 action. In this case, it's Enemyintel Fiber against Cicuuuuw? Something along those lines, or Cicuuuuw? I don't know quite how to pronounce their name. So, I got into this game a little bit late. Sadly, 3 kills on both sides have already happened, so we've missed all of that action. Let me rearrange the champion icons real quick. And I will get right into this game. There we go. Alright, let's look at what we have. We have a Renekton up against a Riven in the top lane. We have Kha'Zix up against Zac in the jungle. Then we have an Ahri versus Ziggs mid lane matchup. A Jinx up versus a Sivir. And in the bot lane we have Annie against Thresh. And the first thing I see is that Jinx is 11 CS up on Sivir, but Sivir already has 2 kills. So it does look like there was at least quite the level 1 fight, because there are so many assists on both sides of the team on more than just a few people. If you look at it, Ahri 3 assists, Jinx 3 assists, Annie 2, Renekton 2, and Kha'Zix has 1 assist and 2 kills. A Kha'Zix with 1 assist and 2 kills is terrifying. That man will now continue to roam all over the map, try to take people out left and right, and when he does and gets even more fed, then he will truly become a terror of the late game. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. A top lane matchup. Renekton is currently up 9 to 10 CS. He's got a kill on Riven and another assist as well. So he'll probably be doing quite well there. He has to keep Riven small as well, because if Riven is allowed to just farm up and get strong, get a couple of kills, then she can still be a huge force towards the late game. See Kha'Zix making his way into the bot lane. I doubt anything will really happen there unless Thresh and Sivir make a misplay here. Zac is actually also coming around, so this may just be the perfect timing. Both of the junglers currently in the bot lane, just waiting in the wings. Is anything gonna happen? Kha'Zix is recalling right now, but Annie actually gets flayed. There's the lantern coming in. Flame Chompers are out already. Annie in the middle, but there was nice stun onto 2 people. Kha'Zix coming in. That's 1 person down. Kha'Zix going pretty low here, though. Is going to jump away. Thresh is not going to be able to do anything there. Another bit of damage coming out, and that's going to be a dead Thresh as well. Nicely done by the blue team here. Picking up 2 kills for themselves and really making it count. It was nice timing from Kha'Zix to just be there, and of course he did start his recall, but he hadn't gone yet when Annie pulled out the Flay, and after the Flay came the fight, and she just stood there and stunned 2 enemies. She missed Thresh, but she hit both Sivir and Zac, and then the crowd control just wasn't enough coming out from the red team. And Enemyintel Fiber here coming out with a 5-3 kill lead and already 1,400 gold in their advantage. Jinx, of course, farming up against Sivir, and you can see right now 36 CS against 16, 20 CS between the two, but more importantly, 1 kill with 4 assists afforded Jinx a BF sword, whereas all that Sivir has right now are 2 Dorn's Blades, a longsword, and boots. So Jinx definitely having the upper hand there. And that's just what I mentioned. Like, Kha'Zix does so much damage towards the early game. He had just gone back, picked up 2 longswords, and when he came in there, after that Annie stun went down, so much damage almost instantly went out onto Sivir and Zac. Here's another little bit of a fight. The death sentence misses though, and now Sivir lands a nice boomerang blade onto Jinx. Jinx going pretty low, and Thresh going even lower though. Thresh in danger here. Jinx in a lot of danger. Uses the barrier, has to flash away as well, and that boomerang blade hits on the return, so that's going to be a kill for Sivir. Top lane, meanwhile, Riven took out Renekton, despite Renekton being up in that lane for the most part of that fight. Annie here, if she had mana, she could maybe do a kill. That was a flash forward from Sivir, trying to get the kill there onto Annie, but wasn't quite in range for the auto attack. So that's going to be okay for now. And now Kha'Zix looking for a trade in the top lane, but Riven is level 7 here. Not too sure that would be what he wants to do, but he's done pretty well. The tower helped him out a little bit as well, and Riven now has to get away. Zac is coming around though, so Kha'Zix may just get himself into trouble. There's the bounce up, and that's going to be a dead Kha'Zix. Another kill for Riven. And now the red team all of a sudden turning things around here a little bit. Sivir was able to catch up and farm a little bit, but now Jinx is back, and as soon as Jinx is here, I'm pretty sure Sivir and Thresh are going to back off, recall, and spend their newfound gold. Of course, there was just a kill onto Sivir. But now with a 2-1-1 in the top lane, oh, the Ziggs bomb is not going to be enough, not going to be able to catch onto Annie. Nice thought. But now with Zac towards the bottom half of the jungle as well, if they could only force Annie and Jinx out of that lane. They could go for a dragon. Ziggs now coming around here, knocking Jinx away. The death sentence lands, but the Tibbers went out as well. But Jinx is going to go down here. Nicely done, and both Sivir and Thresh will survive. Kha'Zix is around again, but so is Zac. Oh, Kha'Zix didn't manage to jump over the wall. He kind of failed that one. Sad, sad day for him. But at least they protected their red buff. Oh no, they didn't. Zac actually stole the red buff as well. Is now able to walk over to his blue buff. Ziggs is recalling though, so he's not going to get it just yet. Dragon is not on the table for now. Thought that was maybe what the red team was going for, but then the fight happened, and after that they just backed off. Still a 9 CS differential in that bot lane, but Sivir now with 4 kills. Still not picking up the BF sword, but has at least gotten the Berserker's Greaves plus a Vamp Scepter on top of those 2 Doran's Blades. So she'll have a little bit of sustain, a little bit of attack speed, but the main thing here are those death sentences, and that was a very nice hook there from Thresh, enabling them to get that kill onto Jinx. Of course, the fight before, it was also a lot of that was his doing, snowballing that fight into their favor. But now Riven picking up 2 kills in the last couple of minutes. That was pretty nice for her. She gets a couple more, she'll be really, really threatening, already building towards that Tiamat. Then for the Ravenous Hydra, she wants all the damage, and once she gets that, she'll have a nice amount of wave clear and will really be able to influence this game very, very well. Do a lot of damage very quickly. If she's able to pick out a single target, you know, Jinx's big weakness is that she can't deal with people that get on top of her. But if Thresh lands a hook, Thresh is on top of her, then still has a flay in a box, then Riven can dash forward and jump a couple times to get on top of her. Then Ziggs, okay, Ziggs is not going to, but Zac also, with that jump, can of course go all the way to her, then use the bounce and just basically take her out for a short amount of time. So we'll have to see how Jinx manages to deal with that. I would very much recommend Annie to build a Chalice of Harmony, and then the Mikael's Crucible in order to free Jinx from all this. Protect her carry a little bit. It's a nice item these days, and a lot of supports, you'll see a lot of them buy it, especially if they use mana. So even for Annie, especially for Annie, because she needs mana, because she needs cooldown reduction, and all those nice stats that the Mikael's Crucible provides, I think it would be a really good item for her. The other side, we see Thresh already picking up the side stun. It's going to be nice for him as well. Another fight up in the top lane, and Riven now consistently winning. You know, early on, Renekton had about a 20 CS advantage. Now, Riven's not only caught up, she's 2 in the lead and got 2 kills. So she's doing pretty well in that lane for now. Kha'Zix and Zac both around the mid lane. Zac may actually find Kha'Zix here. They're pinstering him. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, no. Oh, Ziggs had to flash away to get himself to safety because Kha'Zix was there and they didn't notice. Zac was walking towards the bot lane. So he's not going to have that up as Kha'Zix now finding Zac in the jungle. Zac actually used the forced to use the force. God, what is it with my brain today? Slate. Can't talk straight anymore. Anyway, Zac was forced to use the Let's Bounce. He's not going to have that up for a little bit, but it's not too bad. He can do pretty well even without it, and still gank as well. Oh, there's the Tibbers onto Thresh, and Kha'Zix comes in as well. That's going to be dead Thresh. Kill goes over to Jinx. Now she's wanting to do a little bit of damage onto Sivir. Of course, the spell shield protecting Sivir from those flame chompers. And now there's Zac, the flash forced out of Jinx, but she's in the middle of the Mega Inferno Bomb. Still alive though. Zac flashes forward, picks up that kill for himself. Now there's Ziggs as well, and that's a nice bounce onto Annie. Kha'Zix, meanwhile, trying to take out Sivir, but it's not going to be enough. Both of them get taken out. Oh, the minions actually finalizing the kill onto Sivir. So that was a 2-for-1 trade. 3-for-1 trade, actually, in the end of that. No, 3-for-2. They got Thresh at the beginning of that. So 3-for-2 trade in favor of the red team, though. So it's 10-7. Enemyintel Fiber here, lifting a bit of the pressure. A couple of misplays. Arya was a bit late to the party. Ziggs was there a bit sooner. And of course, Jinx overstayed her welcome just a tiny bit, got a bit too close to the tower. And then Zac coming in there forced her to use the flash. Then she had no escape from the Mega Inferno Bomb aside from her barrier, which she used, but it wasn't enough. Zac was able to flash forward, pick up that kill for himself. So overall, nicely played here from the red team. Cicuuuuw, or however they're pronounced. We see both of the junglers have picked up their spirits. Kha'Zix going for more damage, then picking up the Vamp Scepter. I'd very much recommend him to get the Hydra as well, I do believe. Was what I was going to say. Such a strong item, it just does so much damage and gives him additional jungle clear. As Ziggs here, a lot of damage, does manage to get the satchel charge out, but Ahri with all her mobilities following him to Charm Lands, that's going to be a kill for Kha'Zix here, but he eats 2 or 3 tower hits actually. Jumps away, tries to get to safety. Zac isn't quite done yet. The spikes didn't hit, so Zac is not slowed and still chasing Kha'Zix. The hook over the wall might come out here. No, it's a flash flay. That's going to be a kill for Kha'Zix. Nicely done there by Thresh. Being where you needed to be and flashing over the wall rather than trying a blind hook, making sure he gets the kill. And now that's a free dragon for the red team here. Very nicely done. Taking out the enemy jungler after mid lane fight. Ahri had just gone back to buy as well. She picked up a needlessly large rod and that fiendish codex. She's going for the Deathfire Grasp as soon as possible. Jinx tried to steal away dragon with the super mega death rocket, but that was way too early. Not going to be doing anything here. I was just mentioning the items that Ziggs, Ahri had picked up. Sorry about that. Ziggs, meanwhile, has picked up the Chalice of Harmony and the Sorcerer's Shoes, so he'll do a nice amount of damage on top of that mana regen. And of course, the boots will help him dodge all of Ahri's annoying skill shots. That's really what he needs here, and you can see he's actually out trading her for the time being. The Mega Inferno Bomb comes out. Ahri forced to flash away pretty low there. If that bouncing bomb had hit, that would have spelled death for her. Oh, another one lands. That's a kill for Ziggs. Very nicely done. Completely outplaying Ahri there, dodging skill shots and hitting his. Here in the bot lane, another fight ensues. Spell Shield saving Sivir once again from being slowed. Tibbers comes out. Thresh going very, very low. The Ignite is out onto Annie, but Sivir here doing huge amounts of damage onto Jinx. The flash into the push picks her up. 1 kill. Thresh is going to be safe for now, but Kha'Zix is coming in. This could be terrifying. Kha'Zix picks up a couple of kills here. That could be really bad. Why does the Spectator jump away? Show me this down here. Zac trying to run away. Kha'Zix does look like he's forced away for the time being. No, he goes back in. Does a nice amount of damage onto Sivir. 1 more hit. Actually, will the Spirit of the Elder Lizard be enough to finish up that kill? As Zac goes in again, is going to force to enter his passive. But Ziggs is around the party as well. Gets a double kill for himself with giving 2 assists to 3 of his teammates. So a huge amount of gold for the red team. Very nicely done there. It was just so close, back and forth. Sivir surviving with such low HP as we see in the top lane. Flash forced out of Riven. Renekton not done yet, diving under the tower. That's going to be a kill for him. No, yes it is. There we go. And the last Ignite tick is going to finish him off as well. The tower hits were a bit too much. So 1-for-1 trade in top lane. And I do believe 3-for-1 trade in the bot lane. 3-for-0 even. Because, of course, Zac did not end up going down. Was just as passive. The Soul Division saving his life there. Now we have 16-9 kill lead in favor of the red team here. And they're 3,300 gold ahead. Even though they're 1 tower down. We can see that in the items. You already have the Ravenous Hydra done in the top lane, plus a pickaxe. Compared to the Sunfire Cape and the Brutalizer out of Renekton. Of course, those two still pretty even. 3-2-1 on Riven, 2-2-2 on Renekton. Farm just about the same. Kha'Zix with 5-5-3 actually has a lot more gold than Zac. But all he has for now is the Spirit of the Ancient Golem, then a Vamp Scepter and a Longsword, also going for that Tiamat. As I mentioned earlier, the Ravenous Hydra probably going to be the item he was looking for. Zac, meanwhile, picked up the Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Ninja Tabai, Ruby Crystal, and the Cloth Armor. Might be looking to pull that Aegis for his team next. Ahri in the mid lane has that mentioned needlessly large rod plus the Fiendish Codex, looking for that Deathfire Grasp, as Ziggs already has a needlessly large rod on top of that Fiend's Unholy Grail already. Kha'Zix here looking around the bot lane, and he may find something. Jinx has that Bloodthirster and the Berserker's Greaves. Kha'Zix going over the wall, and Sivir and Thresh here have nothing to... Sivir ultimate is popped, takes the Lantern out to safety. Very nicely done. So as I was saying, Jinx has the BF sword, the Bloodthirster. Sivir has the same thing though, and another Dorn's Blade, and almost another Zeal on top of that. So she's definitely ahead of Jinx as well. And in the bot lane, we already have the Talisman of Ascension completed on Thresh. That's a very nice item. Could have been used in that situation as well in order to get away, as Annie actually may get herself into trouble down there. Is gonna stay safe for the time being. Charm misses in the top lane, but now there are 3 members around. They really want Riven, and Riven is far in enemy territory. How can she get out of this? She actually does a lot of damage onto Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix gone dangerously low. Has to be careful the next time around he tries that. And if she had used her Ravenous Hydra, maybe she could have gotten the kill. She did still have it. Kha'Zix has to be careful for the future here, but that was another kill onto the blue team. They really need that. And Annie Tibbers coming out. Thresh very wisely just standing there until the flame chompers disappear, puts down the box, and now Annie forced to flash. The boomerang blade hits on her. She's actually almost dead, but the zap coming out of Jinx not quite connecting. Mega Inferno Bomb going far wide. Another stun onto Thresh, and that's going to be a death Thresh. Oh my god, the flash over the wall actually so clutch, and then the death sentence almost keeps himself safe. But there's the rest of the team a tiny bit too late. At least they trade, and killing Jinx in exchange for Thresh and an extra support for the red, an extra assist for the red team as well. It's definitely worth it. Now Kha'Zix has to jump away. That bouncing bomb would have done a lot of damage to him. The inner bottom tower will go down from the blue team. Oh, Kha'Zix now actually getting himself caught. The let's bounce over the wall flash there from Zac, finishing a kill, and now he has to get away from Ahri somehow. How is he gonna do it? When is he gonna have his jump up? He needs it soon. Till then, he didn't quite manage. Now he has to stay inside the base. Is going to go down to Ahri. It's very close. Do believe it was an Annie stun that prevented him from getting over the wall. Stopped his jump charging. Very nicely played there. That's nice. As both of these teams back up for the time being, have to take a breather. The bot lane, of course, for the blue team has to be pushed out. The rest of the team is happy to just go back and buy items for now. Ziggs just picked up his death cap. That's going to be beautiful for him. This Kha'Zix at least has his Tiamat done. Soon he's going to have that Raven as Hydra as well, and then he's going to be really scary. That sentence lands onto Ahri. A lot of skill shots, and Thresh actually going very, very deep here. Very ballsy, and is going to go down for his troubles. Kha'Zix finishing that one off. That was a bit farther than you wanted to go, Thresh. He had just used her Spirit Rush and her Flash to take you way behind enemy lines. Mega Inferno Bomb out of Ziggs. Tried to pick Ahri up on the retreat. Wasn't quite enough. Riven here trying to take away the red buff. Instead turns around onto Kha'Zix, doing a nice amount of damage. Ziggs on the back lines as well. There's the smite from Kha'Zix. Picks the red buff up for himself, but Riven isn't quite done with him yet. Does turn around though. So Renekton comes in now. She has to be scared. She's still pretty deep. Does look like it's safe. Of course, Sivir and Ziggs also around to protect her. The 3v5 is still a 3v5, and it's not something you want to risk. Instead, you can just go for Dragon. Nice call there from Riven. Seeing the objective open for the taking as Jinx and Ahri just sitting around the mid lane. And the 2 other members of the blue team had recalled. There's now the Hydra on Renekton, on Kha'Zix. God, for some reason I'm really confused today. Onto Kha'Zix. That's going to make him pretty powerful. We have another giant spell in the top lane as well. On Renekton. He's now a tanky beast. But what is Riven going to pick up? She currently has 2,200 gold. Might be going for a Last Whisper, possibly. May also be looking to actually go for a Bloodthirster next after getting that little bit of extra damage with that pickaxe already. Static Shiv finally completed on Sivir as well. That's going to make her pretty scary. 7-3-5 Sivir with 143 farm, doing pretty well. That sentence lands, and Ahri has no escape to get away from that. Static Shiv finishing up that kill, and now Kha'Zix completely out of position. Riven takes that one. Now Renekton is left basically alone under his tower. How's he going to defend this? Another death sentence lands, but I don't think they can make a kill off of this. Yes, they try to go for it though. He's forced really far back. The Mega Inferno Bomb not quite landing. Riven tanking the tower. Tries to throw out the broken wings. Quite enough to finalize that kill. The middle tower now under heavy damage. Thresh has to be careful here. He's going to get himself picked up. Tanked a couple tower hits too many. Couldn't get out of tower range, or rather where he tried to go out of tower range. There was a Jinx waiting. It's not the most friendly greeting after what they had just done to her team. Now the inhibitor tower almost down, but the Tibbers came out. Annie going very low in exchange as well though. For now, tower is safe. A flash over the wall from Sivir keeps her completely safe. Nicely done there. Knowing when to retreat. It is now 20-14 in kills, and there's a 6,600 gold lead for the red team. 4-2 in towers. It's pretty nice for themselves. What's interesting here is that Sivir had actually gotten a red elixir. They knew they wanted to make that strong push, wanted to fight, wanted to do some real damage, and it really helped out. Her extra boost was huge for that fight. It's now the death sentence after the Talisman of Ascension, sadly not quite landing from Thresh. Ziggs not able to pick up a kill there, as we see Riven and Sivir now in a 2v2 situation. Oh, that Sivir doing so much damage with the static shiv onto Kha'Zix. So Kha'Zix is fed. He's got the Raven as Hydra now, but against a Sivir with a Bloodthirst and static shiv, he's still weak. Oh, Thresh gets himself caught out. Ahri charming him, unleashing all the damage with the Deathfire Grasp. Kha'Zix going in to finalize the kill. 7-7-4, also pretty strong. Ahri, of course, has the Deathfire Grasp completed. A blasting one on top of that. Jinx now has a Bloodthirster and a Last Whisper. She's also up here. And this top inner may just be going down. Riven wanted to recall, but she's not able to right now. She has to stick around, and it's a mistake. Players sometimes do. Look at this. She has 3,200 gold. That could change this fight. The Mega Inferno Bomb gonna pick up Jinx for the first one. Then Renekton and Kha'Zix still in trouble. Kha'Zix going down. Renekton gonna go down now, and Ahri has to run away. She's also pretty low. Not able to fight this anymore. Annie has her Tibbers out, I believe. Beautiful fight from the red team. Not much the blue team could do there. They got completely caught out of position. Red team with a beautiful engagement, and then that Mega Inferno Bomb just taking out Ziggs, Jinx, and Ahri. This is going to be a free Baron for the red team. They realize they have this window for opportunity right now, and just jump on it. Very nice for them. Great move here to make this happen. Super Mega Death Rocket was intercepted. Bottom of the screen there. The red team can manage another engagement like that. It is probably going to be game. Pretty strong at this point. Just the Riven does so much damage. She has a Guardian Angel after that Last Whisper there. And then, of course, in the mid lane, Ziggs now with that Death Cap and the Fiend's Unholy Grail and another needlessly large rod going towards that Death Cap, most likely, or also Deathfire Grasp. I'd be surprised. And I don't mean Death Cap, I mean Zhonya's Hourglass, of course. He's 619, been doing really well for himself. Thresh is getting tankier now. Picked up a Giant Spell, does get charmed again, and there's a stun out of Annie. That's another kill onto Kha'Zix. It's the second time it's happened now. Just warding is a dangerous job when you're a squishy support. And you're squishy against a team like that, even when you have a Giant Spell and a Ruby Sightstone. So that's Baron off of one member of the red team. Enemyintel still has a chance here. So if we're gonna love those 50 gold from Tibbers that she just got. Dragon is up in 1 minute. That will probably be the next point of contestation. Of course, the middle inhibitor tower. Inhibitor towers now regenerate ever so slowly if untouched since the new patch, and you can see it's going slowly back up. If the blue team managed to stall that out long enough, they could actually save it, but it doesn't look like the red team wants to let that happen. Zach could just tank that up while Sivir does the crucial couple of hits. Didn't quite manage to get one in, just ate a couple of hits in return, actually. Kha'Zix here, sitting in the wings. Zach still hasn't spotted him. Why doesn't he go into the bush? But Kha'Zix forced to use the ultimate in order to run away. Ziggs is going to stay safe for now. And yes, he did pick up that Zhonya's Hourglass. I very much approve. Against someone like Kha'Zix, that's 884. That can do so much damage. You need a method of invulnerability. And here is the death sentence onto Jinx. This could be a kill. Yes, it will be after the Mega Inferno Bomb landed. And Zac going very, very low inside the enemy team. Just zones them all. And Renekton on the backline was getting killed. Riven coming around the side is going to pick up the kill onto Renekton, and now another death sentence. Barely misses, but Ahri here in a lot of trouble. Does flash away and uses the Spirit Rush to keep herself safe. Last bouncing bomb not quite connecting, but this is huge now for the for the red team, of course. Take out one turret and the first inhibitor. Renekton still down for 20 seconds. Another 7 on Jinx. They can just rotate around to that mid lane, take that tower out as well. They have minions here. Sivir actually wants blood. She almost takes Kha'Zix out. The red team actually tries to take a Nexus tower off of this. Could be pretty nice for them as well. And yes, they will manage. Do get the last hit in. Riven still with the Guardian Angel. They might be trying to finish here. Not sure if they can, because if the fight happens in the blue team's favor, everything could turn around. But Riven here, almost taking out Kha'Zix on her own, is going to have her Guardian Angel pop now onto the tower. Is Kha'Zix going to go down? Yes, he will. And there's a second Nexus tower already going down. Now the base is open, but Sivir here taking a huge amount of damage, has to stay for herself. Spell shield saving her from Tibbers, but now Riven at the same time getting taken out by Renekton. So the red team has to retreat for now. 500 gold onto Renekton. He's gonna love that. Sivir really, really low. Has to get out of that base somehow. Doesn't have a flash though. How's she gonna do it? A nice death sentence, but it was too late. Jinx had already killed Sivir, and now Thresh also gonna go down. Nowhere for him to go. Now Ziggs finds himself in a lot of trouble. Throws out the Mega Inferno Bomb. One auto hit onto Renekton would have done it. And here comes Zac just in time with the Let's Bounce. Picks up 1 kill. Is he also going to pick up a second one? Renekton doesn't have much. Is slowed now. But the nice zap out of Jinx slowed him down as well. Renekton pops the ultimate and the Randuin's Omen. Zac has nothing to respond to with that. And is going to go down here. So for now, blue team does manage to hold on. They've lost an inhibitor and both Nexus Towers. So they can absolutely not leave the base alone. They have to take care of all the super minions coming in. Else they will risk just losing while they're trying to fight Cicuuuuw somewhere on the map. Let's take a look across the items here. We have Riven with that Raven aside, a Guardian Angel, a Last Whisper, Brutalizing Boots of Lucidity. Really going for the nice fighting build here. Extra cooldown reduction to have her skills back up faster. Have another rotation out to throw. Then there's Zac, who has a Sunfire Cape, a Locket of the Iron Solari, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, and a Negatron Cloak on top of those Ninja Tabi. So pretty beefy, also against Jinx. And of course the Locket of the Iron Solari with the aura for the entire team, really, really nice. Ziggs, Deathcap, Zhonya's Hourglass, Athene's Unholy Grail, now building towards the Liandry's Torment. Also has the Sorcerer's Shoes, so pretty nice damage there. In my opinion, instead of the Liandry's Torment, should be looking for a Void Staff. It would be more faster damage, and it's really one of the things they need here. Ziggs has to assassinate targets even better. Baron is back up in 2 minutes. Dragon was just taken out. Not taken out. Could have been taken out by the red team. They decide not to. Oh, Thresh, are you going to go into the death bush? It is the death bush. All 5 members sitting there, and he's going to die. There's nothing to be done. Question is, can Ziggs get away? And I don't think so. The Zhonya's is pop, but he's in the middle of the enemy team. There's nothing he can do to escape. Beautiful 2 kills from the blue team there. Death bush, so effective. But they're looking for more. Sivir's around the corner doing a lot of damage. Spell shield saving her for now. Zap out of Jinx lands as well though. And meanwhile, Riven was top lane, took out another tower. He's now coming around, wants to assassinate Annie over there. There she is, doing a lot of damage. Sivir is on the back lines of that as well. They don't quite manage to take the kill yet. They have to very soon. There we go. The Raven is Hydra proc, or active, is going to take that for herself. So nicely done on that front. Middle tower now finally going down. Zac and Sivir still sticking around there. Sivir now overstayed a welcome. She's surely going to go down. Why did you do that? You could have survived. Doesn't want to. And Zac now getting chased by Kha'Zix. That gives me a little more time to talk about the items that I started on talking about. Sivir now, Bloodthirster, Static Shiv, Last Whisper, BF Sword, and just about to pick up a pickaxe, looking for that Infinity Edge next, is such a terror as well. She is so strong, does so much damage. We can see just there early in the fight. And then Thresh, of course, with the Sunfire Cape and the Talisman of Ascension, now finally looking for the Mikhail's Crucible for his team. It's a little bit late, but here's the dragon fight. Kha'Zix going over the wall, tries to take Zac out. Nice box, but Zac here has to jump away. Ahri and Jinx coming around. Kha'Zix takes out the dragon, and Thresh gonna go down here for sure. Tries to flash away for some reason. There was, oh, Riven. That was beautiful. Takes out Kha'Zix. Is now Ziggs barely surviving the Jinx assault with the help of Zac. That was beautifully done. Didn't think it was possible. And he still wants blood. So Ziggs has to retreat here. Top lane, Renekton tries to push, but Sivir will be there to stop him. And I've still not been done with the items because I haven't gone over the blue team yet. There's been a Randuin Summon and a Sunfire Cape on top of that Spirit Visage and soon-to-be Spirit Visage on Renekton. We have the Ravenous Hydra, the Last Whisper, and the Elder Lizard on Kha'Zix. And of course a Deathfire Grasp on top of that Void Staff. And soon-to-be Death Cap on Ahri. She's doing more and more damage, and once that Death Cap is done, she'll actually truly be a force to be reckoned with, not only for taking out Thresh, but taking out other members of the red team as well. Jinx, Bloodthirster, Static Shiv, Last Whisper, BF Sword, also a force to be reckoned with. 7, 9, and 10. 7 kills in no matter what circumstances. are always strong, and the gold shows. It's been showing, but overall, if we look at the scoreboard, it's still almost a 10,000 gold lead for the red team. They know it. They know they have the upper hand here. They're stronger in team fights. They've got elixirs on themselves as well, and they're doing Baron here. There's nothing the blue team can do to stop it. They're too late. They have to retreat here, but the ultimate out of Sivir not going to be enough. Oh, the death sentence just missing Jinx. That would have been really nice. As it looks, red team trying to chase. Thresh just taking a bunch of damage, but the red team here, 2 exposed inhibitors, can probably just walk into the enemy base, waltz in there, and get all the hits off they need. A little bit scared still. Of course, Annie with a 5-man Tibbers could still turn anything around. Ahri with a well-placed charm on one of the priority targets could also do quite an amount of work for her team. Static Shivs plus the Order of Deception providing a lot of wave clear. The Boomerang Blade as well, of course, so both of these teams able to push waves very, very quickly. It's a pretty big wave for the blue team in the bot lane. Oh, Kha'Zix gets himself caught out by that death sentence. Has to use his ultimate to jump away. Could have been worse. He could have gone down. He could have been forced to use the flash. But he's going to have to go back. And that bouncing bomb doing so much damage. And he goes in. This is going to be the fight. But they're 4v5 and the Broken Wings take out Ahri. There's Annie going to go down. And Renekton is all alone against 3 members in the backline. Is not going to be able to survive. Meanwhile, Zac forcing Kha'Zix and Jinx back. Kha'Zix here flashing away is not going to be able to survive against all the members that are chasing him. Unless they stop chasing him. Nope, there's the Boomerang Blade. Red team gets another kill. The Nexus is open, is exposed. They're just going to go and take that out. Middle inhibitor was, of course, killed, else they couldn't attack it. As Sivir and Thresh try to get a kill on to the fountain. It's almost meant to be, but that's going to be a game in favor of the red team. Cicuuuuw, or Cicuuuuw, as their actual team name goes, have taken this game for themselves with nice plays and just really outplaying Enemyintel Fiber here. They were in the right spots at the right times and just made the right rotations. Ganks were turned around on the bot lane, the mid lane, top lane. Riven picked up the slack and from a fairly bad start just came out hugely way ahead item-wise. She kept killing Renekton, kept winning the trades, and look at her now. 10-4-5 against the 3-5-9. I can't say anything more about that. And that was GG well played for both of these teams. Red team, of course, taking the win. Gonna be happy with that. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. It was around 1 in the morning here, so I was pretty tired and messed up a bunch of names. Doesn't even matter. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe, follow my Twitter. The link is in the description, and I'll be sure to do more of these in the future. Have a good one.